So hello my friends, welcome back to the channel. So there's an African proverb that goes as so. When a pregnant mad woman keeps showing up at your doorstep, be sure one of your sons, if not your husband, got her pregnant. So recently, Gachagua continued on his streak of wild allegations against the president, accusing him of trying to dismantle the ODM power structure, that is scheming to bribe and compromise a section of the party execs. Just have a listen.
Leader ndio anyimwe aende aanzishe chama ya Pwani ya ODM Pwani. Amemwambia Oparanya aende adimadi kuwa party leader ndio anyimwe aende aanzishe chama huko Western. Amesema ODM anataka ibaki chama cha Wajaluo.
Some of us may choose to remain cavalier to Gashagua's assertions, but remember, Ruto is a politician and would totally gravitate towards such an outcome. And in all fairness, doesn't mean that the allegations are true, but is poised to lean more in that direction. ODM is the shiny red apple of the Kenyan political ecosphere, the very envy of every politician, who wouldn't want their own party to be such a powerhouse if only diminishing ODM would guarantee such an outcome. And furthermore, it was also reported last week that Ruto, and this is not Gachagua saying, tried to take over the ODM grassroots structures in Kakamega, that he purportedly secretly invited them to a meeting under the pretext of UDA ODM strategic meeting. But here's the catch. It was all without the knowledge of ODM or even the representatives in attendance. Both parties, that is UDA and the representatives, claimed plausible deniability. They refuted the claims. But who are we to believe politicians? Anyway, here's the deal. The ODM CENTCOM made a panoply of mistakes this past week since the demise of their I-12 chair, Raila. The worst mistake is being in a rush to pen a memorandum of agreement to work with the president in 27 this early in the game. It is the timing, my friends. Whenever you're negotiating, first ask yourself, what leverage do I have? ODM party had humongous leverage until their execs showed the desperation to work with the president next election cycle, this early in the game. A mistake of great proportions, an error. The party was better poised to negotiate for the DP's post, but if they ink the MOU this early in the game, then the balance of power shifts. The president gets all the leverage, hence he decides what to give them. The DP's post, plus a slew of cabinet slots they would have gotten, are lost. My friends, if they proceed with this deal, they'll eviscerate their chances in 27. We can't be sitting ducks while the president and a section of the execs are on course to neuter the party. So here's the point. Sticking with the president is the best course of action in the interim. Gachagua is no option. The opposition is no option. But it's a card Ruto must know that we are ready to play. After all, we just reap dividends in a company we didn't invest in. And mark my words, my friends, Ruto is not our friend. We are allies. And so if we cannot bargain for the post of deputy in 27, then so be it. Even if the compromise means we lose some friends, we'll build another coalition. We are the Luo. To regain our power, disproportionate power, we must make the president fearful of us. To tame him, we must make him livid. So livid, he can't dare cross us. So fearful, just like he was in the aftermath of the Gen Z protests. Until then, my friends, President Ruto has all the leverage considering the mistakes the ODM execs have done so far. Consequently, that's a very dangerous place to be vis-a-vis a conniving and calculating individual like the president. So here's a sneak peek to the kind of power we lose if the ODM CENTCOM go ahead and seal the deal with the president this early in the game. Here's an anecdote as narrated by Bibi Netanyahu, the Israeli Prime Minister. From the backdrop of fighting and dismantling Iran and its proxies across the Middle East, President Trump asked him, "How do you do it? You're such a small country." His answer was so profound, almost poignant. "Mr. President," he said, "you are a lion. The US is so enormous, almost like the prehistoric saber-toothed tiger. Conversely, Israel is the honey badger. My friends, we are the honey badger." If you want to know about the honey badger, then be my guest. It is comparatively small, but here's the catch. It has extremely sharp teeth coupled with a very thick skin. It is a tactical genius and knows well to go for the enemy's points of vulnerabilities, points of weaknesses. It has immeasurable courage and fortitude. It doesn't fear lions. President Ruto is the lion, and we are the honey badger. And so you may ask, what's the point of all this? In politics, sentiment is expensive when survival is the currency. And for that reason, we must treat the president with extreme skepticism. Politicians are duplicitous. 2 points. Once he's re-elected, the balance of power will shift. We'll lose considerable amount of leverage, especially if we didn't bargain for the DP's post. And secondarily, betrayal is a constant function in any political equation or in any alliance for that matter. Consequently, we must prepare, we must have a contingency and prepare for that reverb when the time comes. On to the next segment. Now, Gachagua might be the pregnant mad woman glued to our doorstep, but mark my words, his claims have veracity, they are valid. President Ruto has maximum incentive to decimate, if not try to disintegrate the ODM party. But always separate noise from substance. Such noise.
Mimi nauliza nyinyi, ndio mimi nikuwe rais. Si nyinyi mlinipigia kura? Yaani mnafikiri mimi nitakuwa mjinga niwache watu wanipigia kura niende nitafutane na watu wa pumbavu?
The president made this benign statement. Yes, out of place, but benign. Yet the bozos in the opposition, in their depraved, debauched and sadistic minds, quickly attributed it to the Luos. He's called you WAPUMBAVU, they told us. My friends, gone are the days we reacted to the whims of our detractors. We cannot forgo the opportunity cost of being in government because of feelings. Even President Uhuru Kenyatta called lawyers madimoni. Peace. Subscribe, everyone.